Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for. You've been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. And buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see, getting closer? Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding open. It's the preacher and the pulpit and your blind devotion. There's something breaking at the brink of every wall that's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go where it's covered in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night? Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
All right, everybody. You heard it in the video. This is the moment you've been waiting for, right? Put together a little video series here to help introduce the document-based question, perhaps the chief part of the experience of the AP U.S. history exam. So here's the plan. There are going to be 4 parts to this series. First one on the structure of the DBQ and the DBQ rubric. Second one on working through the documents that go along with the prompt. The third one on planning an essay in response to the prompt. And then fourth, writing out the response and what it looks like done well. That last one we may do with our in-class seminar. So hope you enjoy it. Hope it's helpful. All right, everybody, I'd like to start introducing you to the DBQ today, the document-based question, the second type of essay that appears on the AP U.S. history exam. And I'd like to start in particular by focusing today just on the structure of the question, and then we'll take a look at the rubric that's used to grade the question. So the DBQ has 2 parts to it. It has the prompt, which you'll see down here in our sample question. This is the one that I've handed out in class. So evaluate the extent of change in continuity in the lives of African Americans in the South during the period 1865 to 1905. And then the prompt will be followed by 7 documents that offer various perspectives on the historical topic or some particular aspect of it. So if we scroll through the pages that follow here, you see document 1, 2, 3, and so forth, all the way through document 7. All right, and those are considered to be part of the question. They're documents that go along with the question, and you'll need to learn how to use them to answer the prompt that's at the top. So a couple of things to make sure that you notice. First of all, if you just take a look at the basic structure of the question here, you'll see that it's a similar looking structure to what we've seen previously with the regular essay question, what's formally called the long essay question, or LEQ. So now that we have worked in first semester to get a good sense of how to respond to an LEQ, now we're turning to the DBQ, and we find a good deal of similarity. It's the same basic structure type, where you should expect for every prompt to include words that indicate a historical topic, words that indicate a time period, and words that represent command terms that tell you what you're supposed to do. Okay, and I think you can see that in this question and any other DBQ you look at. In addition, just briefly commenting on the documents, I think it's important for you to understand that the documents are selected for each topic because they relate to the topic. They're not just random documents. They're chosen because they have something specific to say about this particular topic that they go along with. And in some sense, your job in responding to this would be to explain why they're there, what the connection is to the topic, how they help to gain an understanding of the topic that the prompt asks about. All right. So I think it can be helpful to use the concepts that are in the prompt to sort through the documents. So for example, this is a change and continuity question. You might find it helpful as you looked at the documents to sort of sort the documents into change documents and continuity documents. Okay. Or, for example, if the prompt were to ask you about political and economic changes or political and economic effects, you might find it helpful in starting to organize your answer to sort the documents into ones that have to do with political effects and ones that have to do with economic effects. Okay, so similar to how you might have used those words in the prompt to sort through historical details in the planning of a regular essay, you can use those same sort of categories to help you sort through things with the DBQ. All right. Um, so just like with the regular essay question, it's going to be very important to pay careful attention to the prompt and make sure that you're responding to it. All right. We'll come back and work through some prompts and document sets later on, but now I'd like to turn to the AP U.S. History DBQ rubric and just take a look at how these essays are graded. Okay. Um, First of all, I'd like to note just with a brief comment that this rubric is going to include 7 points. This is the one that's used to grade AP exam essays. The one that I use for essays written in our course actually includes a couple of extra points, and I'll come back at the end and explain what those are and why I include them. Okay. So first thing to note here is if you look down this left-hand column, you'll see that the categories for grading here are exactly the same as the categories for the long essay question, the regular essay that we've done already this year. Okay. And just like the LEQ, there's going to be a thesis point, a contextualization point, evidence points, and then analysis and reasoning points. Okay. These are things that you already know how to do. And at a first glance, that should be comforting to you. The DBQ is not asking you to do anything that is totally new and different. There are some differences with the DBQ, but there are also some considerable similarities to what we've already done with essay writing throughout the year. Okay, so let's take a more specific look. First of all, with the thesis. If you look at the wording here and read through it, you will see that the expectations for the thesis and what you need to do to get the point, it's exactly the same as for the regular essay. Nothing new to add there. The same is true for contextualization. It's exactly the same as the expectations for the long essay question, the LEQ. All right, so those two are known quantities. You know how to do those. It's nothing new with the DBQ. And so the basic structure of the essay and how you started out, since both of these tend to be in the opening paragraph, it's going to be very familiar, very similar to what you've done already this year a lot. Okay. Now, when we turn to evidence, again, this is a category that's also common to the regular essay question. But you'll see here that for evidence, things are sorted into 2 categories. First of all, there's evidence from the documents. So in some way, you are going to sort of mine the documents and figure out how they relate to the to the topic. Okay. And in particular, if we look at the wording here, you can see it says uses the content of at least 3 documents to address the topic of the prompt. Okay. So basically, you're doing what it says over here on the right. You're describing the content of the document as it relates to the essay topic. You're describing, you're saying, you're summarizing, here's what this document says. And then secondly, note that the number is going up for this second point, 3 documents for 1 point, 6 documents for 2 points. And in addition, you're supporting an argument. So the sense there is that instead of just describing, you're really relating it to the argument that you're building during the essay over the course of the body paragraphs for your thesis statement. Okay, so I hope that's familiar language to you. Argument and thesis go together. The thesis sort of stakes a claim, it's a one sentence summary. And then the argument is basically what you're doing in the body paragraphs to continue the line of reasoning that the thesis starts and to sort of prove and back up and defend the thesis. Okay. Um, and the idea here is that you're able to use the documents and relate them to your thesis and the essay topic in a way that makes sense. Okay. So we'll be coming back and talking about the sort of technical element of how you actually write that out, what it looks like when you do it correctly. But for now, it should suffice to know that you're trying to take the documents, the evidence that's provided by these historical documents, and you're looking to explain what they have to do with the essay topic. Okay. The second part of this, the evidence beyond the documents, is going to be exactly what you've been trying to do with evidence in a regular essay. So beyond the documents, outside the documents, just means stuff from your head, right? Stuff from your brain that you know about the historical topic. And you're going to include that in the essay. So the essay really strikes DBQ essays really strike a balance between evidence that comes from the documents and evidence that comes from beyond the documents or outside the what the documents give you. Okay. And you're looking to use both to support and prove and defend your thesis statement. All right. Now, turning to this fourth category, analysis and reasoning. Again, this is one it's a category that was there for the regular essay, but you'll see again that it's divided into 2 points in a way that's a little bit different from the regular essay. So the first point for analysis and reasoning is for analyzing the documents themselves. And this takes the form of a very direct analysis of some aspect of the document. Okay, so you can see the wording here. It explains how or why the document's point of view, purpose, historical situation, and or audience is relevant to an argument. Same lingo on the right, and this is what we have called HIPP throughout the year: historical context, intended audience, point of view, and purpose. Slightly different terminology than what you see here, but getting at the exact same thing. Okay, and again, we'll learn how to do this, but the idea is you are directly addressing one of those things and writing it into your essay to explain the document's significance. Okay. Second point for analysis is showing what is called complex understanding of the topic. All right. So this is showing a more sophisticated understanding of the essay topic rather than just a basic understanding. And there are various ways you can do this. See this list of bullet points on the right. We'll be talking about this some in class, but the basic idea is this complex understanding is something that is more than just a basic, straightforward answer. It's showing understanding of the topic's significance, importance, things like that. Okay. All right, so we've walked through the different categories. Again, thesis, contextualization, evidence from the documents and from beyond, and then analysis of the documents and of the topic. Okay, that's it. Those are the 7 points on the DBQ rubric. I mentioned earlier that my rubric includes a couple of extra points. One of them is going to come with evidence beyond the documents. I include 2 points there for including one piece of evidence and then a second piece of evidence. And then I include the point that you had on the regular essay rubric for writing quality. And I see those as added opportunities. So the rubric that I use is out of 9 points total. And I see those extra 2 points as added opportunities to earn credit. We're trying to avoid zeros, which are extremely rare, but I'm trying to give you extra opportunities to earn point. And I'm doing so in a way that promotes better essays overall. Okay. We'll also talk about how they, those extra points in some sense provide safeguards against mistakes. But that we'll save that conversation for when we're talking about how to actually write the DBQ. Okay, so just a brief introduction to the structure of the DBQ and then the nature of the rubric, how it's graded. I hope that's helpful. We will keep working on understanding the DBQ.